In the past few months, I have faced the biggest challenge of my career as a music producer. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Badhabit and I started making music professionally in 2014, and since then I have faced many challenges. I have produced and written songs for artists like Zara Larsson, Dylan Francis, and believe me, there is a lot of pressure when you're making music for artists of this caliber because you know there is a big chance you want to deliver and there's a lot at stake. Not to talk about the challenges of dealing with the music business, the people, the harshness of it, the challenges of moving from Italy to a different country just to chase my dreams. But guys, this one was definitely one of the biggest ones, if not the biggest one I've ever faced. So it all started in 2020. During COVID, I was in lockdown in Italy. I was basically making music by myself. As many of you probably know already, a lot of producers and artists like Ryan Tedder, Charlie Puth, Louis Bell, Kaigo, they all started dropping their own courses and masterclass about production and songwriting. And I gotta be honest, I bought all of them. Okay, fast forward 3 years later, so like 4 months ago, I get an email from the studio.com team, the website that hosts all of those classes, saying that they wanted to have me teach my own masterclass. So at first I was like, whoa, are you kidding me? And I thought, all right, if I do this, I'm gonna be alongside Charlie Puth, Ryan Tedder, Kaigo, Louis Bell. So the amount of pressure was like incredible. But at the same time, I was feeling so honored. So of course I said yes. I've always wanted to do this and I just started my YouTube channel for this exact purpose, to just, spread my knowledge and help as many people as possible. So yeah, it feels unreal to say this, but I'm proud to announce that my masterclass is launching today on studio.com and I'm so pumped about it. Now, I'll play you the trailer and after this, I'll give you more details about the class and tell you why this was such a challenge. So let's roll it. My name is Badhabit and welcome to my studio. I'm a 7-time Platinum Awarded producer, songwriter, and artist, and I'm known for my upbeat and emotive disco pop productions. I have produced and written songs for Zara Larsson, Dylan Francis, Roy English, Gali, Fedez, and many more. Collectively, songs I've produced and written have more than 500 million streams. In this class, I'm gonna teach you everything I know about producing a disco pop beat. I'm gonna bring you into my studio and share with you my entire production process, from start to finish. You're gonna follow along with me as I take a very simple loop and develop it into a full beat, starting from how I create an initial vibe all the way through mixing and mastering our finished track. This is ready for radio, Along the way, I'm gonna be explaining everything that I'm doing, my thought process, my techniques, the exact samples, plugins, instruments that I'm using, and why I'm using them. Ooh, I have an idea for this one. I'll show you how to build an initial vibe around the loop, how to define the foundations of a disco pop beat, how to overcome the common problem of getting stuck on 8-bar loops. The second hook has to be a little bit bigger than the first one, how to approach the sound selection and how to program drums like a pro, how to record professional quality instruments such as guitars and bass, how to come up with groovy bass lines, how to edit audio and MIDI in every possible detail. This is a trick that you can use not only on claps, you can use this like on anything. How to record professional vocals, how to create interesting effects and transitions, how to develop a loop into a full track and how to structure it in the most compelling way. And finally, how to glue everything together with mix and mastering, including my exact mastering chain. By the end of this class, you'll know everything you need to produce a disco pop beat, starting from a very simple loop and turning it into a full song. So come join me for this immersive learning experience inside my studio. Alright guys, so this was the trailer. I hope you liked it, but it was very difficult for me to condensate all of the things that I covered in the course in a 2-minute video, so let me give you some more details about the class. First of all, why is this course special? So when the studio.com team reached out to me, I was like, I don't want to just make another generic class about music production. So I started thinking, what can I do to make this class cover every single aspect of music production from start to finish, but without being just one of those generic music production classes that most of the times are also very difficult to translate into actual music. So the first thing that I did was picking a genre that I was good at, and that's also been very popular in the past few years, and that is disco pop. So you can think of Dua Lipa, Doja Cat, Some Stuff by The Weeknd, Flowers by Miley Cyrus, and so on. And second, I wanted to make sure that I could tackle a very common problem for music producers and provide you with a solution. And the problem that I'm trying to help you solve is getting stuck on 8-bar loops. That's something super common that all of us experience to some extent, myself included. You know that feeling when you start an idea from a very simple loop that maybe you found on Splice or maybe you did yourself, and then you start adding a few things, you add drums, you add a few layers, and you have that 8-bar loop that sounds good, but you get to a point when you're like, all right, and now what do I do with this? Who's gonna write on this? How am I gonna develop this into an actual song? And what usually happens is that your loop is gonna die in one of your hard drives. So in this course, I'm gonna show you how I start from a 4-bar loop, actually, not even an 8-bar loop, 4-bar loop, and how I develop that into a full song explaining every single thing that I do in detail. And that's why this course was such a challenge to make, because I had to make sure that all of these aspects were covered perfectly in depth. I really wanted to deliver an incredible class that could live well alongside those giants on studio.com. So now you might be wondering,
okay, and what's different between this class and the YouTube videos that you make already?
Great question. Well, just think about this. Every time I make a YouTube video, I shoot for like 2-3 hours and then I cut it down to 15-20 minutes. So think how much I have to cut out of the full creative process just to make sure that these videos are appealing to YouTube. So I'd say the biggest difference is that here on YouTube, most of the times you get to see the beginning, where I start from, and the end, my final result. But you can't see everything of what's happening in the middle. All the details, some decision making, some mistakes. I have to leave some of it out of these YouTube videos to keep them short and fast paced. While in the class, there are barely any cuts. It's really my unfiltered process from start to finish. It's gonna feel like being here next to me in my studio. So let's get to the interesting part. Who's this class for and what you're gonna get out of it? My main concern was making a class that could help as many people as possible. So if you are a beginner or an aspiring producer, that is great. There's a ton of information that you're gonna learn. I did not leave anything behind. I explained every single thing that I did in detail. So you can take this class, don't be scared of not knowing enough, because you're gonna drastically level up your skills. If you are an experienced producer, that's great as well, because I strongly believe that we never stop learning. And that's the reason why, as a professional producer, I still bought all of the classes from Ryan Tedder, Louis Bell, Charlie Puth, Kygo, because I think the learning process in a creative field like music is never really ending. You might learn something new that you didn't know, or maybe take some of my approach and apply it to your workflow, or maybe you want to know some of the secrets and lessons that I've learned throughout the years being in the same room with big producers and big artists. The behind the scenes, my exact tools. So yeah, honestly, I think this class will be beneficial to all of you, no matter the experience that you already have. By the end of it, you'll be able to produce a full song. Whether you work all in the box just with plugins, or you like to record real instruments, because I actually do both in the class. Now, last but not least, the team at studio.com wanted to release this course at a much higher price. But I was like, hey, I really want to try to help out as many people as possible, so why don't we do a special launch price? Because you know, the music business is so hard, it's very difficult to make a good amount of money with music, and the best investment that you can do is always investing in yourself. Like buying a course, learning something new, but sometimes it's not easy to invest a lot of money in a course. Not everybody can do it. So today, at the time of shooting this video, I have 1,837 subscribers here on YouTube, and that is insane considering that I started this channel just a few months ago. The support has been incredible. So also, as a thank you to all of you guys for supporting me, I really wanted to make this course as accessible as possible. And so I'm giving you a special launch price. If you follow the link that I left down in the description, it's not gonna stay like that forever. So if you're interested, make sure to go and check it out. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so proud of this. Hit the like button if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and maybe I'll see you in my studio.